This video is brought to you by SoundPEATS. SoundPEATS is making a comeback with the Capsule3 Pro Plus. And this isn't just SoundPEATS' best sounding earbud, it's one of the best you can get at this price. And they also updated the app, which I've been asking for years. And today I'll be scoring and ranking them in 10 categories against 14 earbuds. Now this ranking is with earbuds under $100 US, Capsule3 Pro Plus retailing at $89 US. As always, you can download my free spreadsheet and compare all the buds easily and customize the scoring to favor certain categories. I'll explain more about that later though. Now starting with category 1, comfort. And you're getting the exact same design here as the Capsule3 Pro. So these are slightly chunkier than the Air 4 Pro, so they are slightly more comfortable, but it's pretty close between the three here. It's a classic stem style fit that should work well for most ears. So I'm scoring the buds an 8 out of 10. I keep the scoring pretty close here because this is just my experience. It's going to be a bit different for everyone. My only complaint is that you only get 3 sizes of ear tips, where most of the buds in this ranking give you at least 4 options. Now, category 2 is the security of the fit. And I'm also scoring them an 8 out of 10 since it's just a regular stem earbud, but they stay in my ears fine, as do most stem style earbuds. I tested these out when weight training with no issues. I just had to readjust here and there. And I took them for a quick run. These are gonna work well, as do most stem style earbuds that have minimal body-borne noise from the impact you make on the ground and your own heavy breathing reverberating through the ear tips. And the transparency mode doesn't let in too much wind since the microphone is at the back of the earbud, so a little +1 for runners. The only issue with this mic placement is with the transparency mode on or with noise cancelling on, I hear like a bit of like a rustling sound since that microphone hits the back of my ear, so this might just be for me, but it's slightly annoying, not a major issue. And if you like using your earbuds when training, you get an IPX4 water resistant rating. Now, category 3 is case and battery life. So you get an advertised 6.5 hours with the buds and 46 hours in total with the case. Couldn't find any information of what you get with noise cancelling on, where most brands do advertise this, so that's kind of annoying. You usually lose about 25% of your battery life, so we'll say it's a little bit below 5 hours with noise cancelling on and 36 hours in total with the case, which is still pretty decent. You don't get any fast charging of the earbuds and no wireless charging. At this price, buds from Earfun and Soundcore do give you wireless charging. The case is pretty compact though. It's about middle of the pack when it comes to thickness, so it's easily pocketable. And here it is compared to the thinnest case, the Nothing EA, so not too bad compared. So they get a score of 7 out of 10 with decent earbud battery and solid total battery life. Now, category 4 is controls. And you're getting touch controls here with a single, double, triple tap and long hold. But SoundPEATS has a new app now called PEATS Audio, which finally allows you to customize your controls. So you can customize the left or the right earbud with no limitation. So an issue with all of SoundPEATS' previous earbuds is that the triple tap on the left earbud was locked into a game mode. So basically you could only skip tracks forward, you couldn't skip tracks back using your controls, but now you can just change whatever you want. You have no limitations. And the only other brand to give you this much freedom is Earfun. There are still a few things missing, so you can't adjust your ambient switching. So you have to switch between noise cancelling on, noise cancelling off, and transparency using the touch controls, where with a lot of earbuds, you can choose maybe just noise cancelling or transparency if you never use noise cancelling off. And you can't mute your microphone using the touch controls when you're on a phone call, but you are able to switch between noise cancelling, transparency, and noise cancelling off. And you also don't get wearing detection, which the Air 4 Pro did have. So they're getting an 8 out of 10, half a point less than the Air 4 Pro since you don't get wearing detection. But with all previous SoundPEATS earbuds, you can now customize the controls on the app. So I have updated the Air 4 Pro in my ranking. All right, category 5 is connectivity. And you're getting Bluetooth 5.3, SBC, AAC, and LDAC high res. You also get multi-point connection, so you can connect 2 devices to the earbuds at the same time. You just need to pause playback on one device before you play it on your other device. The Air 4 Pro does have a multi-point takeover though, so you don't have to pause playback before playing it on your other device. It will automatically pause the other device for you. And same with all SoundPEATS earbuds, you can use one earbud while you leave the other in the case, and it is going to work in mono mode, so you hear the left and right audio channel when using just one earbud. You also get a low latency gaming mode. In my quick test, turning it on and off, I didn't really notice much of a difference. So if you're into quick reaction games like shooters, these might not be the best suited. Still, you get everything you need. They're getting a score of 9.5 out of 10. The Air 4 Pro get a 10 out of 10 because they have that multi-point takeover. And the Capsule3 Pro a lot lower since you don't get multi-point connection. If you want to check the nitty-gritty details for all the earbuds, compare all the specs, again, it's all in the spreadsheet linked below. All right, category 6 is call quality, and I run through 3 tests: a quiet room, simulation crowd noise, and a simulation windy city with construction noise. The final score is the average of all 3 tests. So the Pro Plus gets a score of 8 out of 10. Very similar in quality to the Capsule 3 Pro and miles better than the Air 4 Pro. I don't know if my pair is faulty, but I've tested this bud multiple times and it's just trash every time. But here are some samples compared to the Air 4 Pro, Capsule 3 Pro, and the highest ranked earbud, the Nothing EA.
Alright, here's a SoundPEATS Air 4 Pro in a quiet room.
Alright, here's the SoundPEATS Capsule 3 Pro in a quiet room. Alright, here's the call quality of the SoundPEATS Capsule 3 Pro Plus in a quiet room. Alright, here's the call quality of the Nothing EA in a quiet room. Alright, now let's see how the microphones block out some simulation crowd noise.
Alright, here's a SoundPEATS Air 4 Pro with some simulation crowd noise.
Alright, here's a Capsule 3 Pro with some simulation crowd noise. Alright, here's a Capsule 3 Pro Plus with some simulation crowd noise.
Alright, here is a Nothing EA with some simulation crowd noise.
Alright, now I have some city noise, construction noise, and some simulation wind.
Here's a SoundPEATS Air 4 Pro with some city noise, construction noise, and simulation wind.
Alright, here's a Capsule 3 Pro with some city noise, construction noise, and simulation wind. Alright, here's the Capsule 3 Pro Plus with some city noise, construction noise, and simulation wind.
Alright, here's a Nothing EA with some city noise, construction noise, and simulation wind.
Alright, category 7 is app customization and extra features. So like I said at the start of the video, I've been saying for years that the SoundPEATS app needs an overhaul. It was super buggy, didn't really work most of the time. So I was super excited to see they released a new app and it is miles better. So it's called Peats Audio. You can get it on iOS or Android. So I'll touch on all the features and go into a bit more detail later. So the user interface is nice and clean here. You have your earbud battery and ambient control options on the main page there. You can disable your touch controls. You have your game mode toggle, multi-point connection, and quick access to your control customization. And on the bottom tab there, you have your EQ customization. This was my biggest complaint with the old app. Every time I would make an EQ and save it to the earbuds, I would go back and then it would no longer be there, but the EQ would still be saved to the earbuds. But anyway, it's basically been fixed now. It can still be a bit slow at times when changing between the EQ presets, but it's much better. So you still get the same solid 10-band EQ with great customization. It just works better now. You also get the same adaptive EQ, which is a hearing test to make an EQ for you. This never worked for me in the past. The volume was always too high, and that's the same problem here. So when I did the test, I could hear all the beeps where I think you're not supposed to hear certain beeps, so it still doesn't work for me, but let me know if it works for you. But going back to the main page, that tab at the top right has some basic earbud information. You can reset the earbuds and change the language of the prompt volume. So they're getting an overall score of 7.5. You get all the basics, and the main thing you want there is control customization and a decent EQ. I don't like that you need to create an account though to log into the app, where most earbuds on my ranking don't require this. And the higher ranked earbuds have a slightly more refined app and with small extra features. Again, if you want to check all these small details, it's in the spreadsheet below. But now category 8 is noise cancelling, and how I test my noise cancelling, I chuck on my soundbar nice and loud and play simulation plain noise and crowd noise, so I get low, middle, high, consistent and inconsistent sounds. So here are the scores for the plain noise and crowd noise test. The total score is the average rounded up to the nearest half. So the Capsule 3 Pro up there with the best. Noticeably stronger than the Capsule 3 Pro and slightly stronger than the Air 4 Pro. You're also able to use noise cancelling when using one earbud while leaving the other in the case, but to change your ambient control settings, you need to go into the app. You can't do it on your touch controls for some reason. And when it comes to EQ shift, this is how your sound quality changes with noise cancelling on compared to transparency compared to noise cancelling off. And this is never really an issue with SoundPEATS earbuds. You pretty much retain the same tuning with all three settings, so good to see. Now, category 9 is the transparency mode. And with the scoring, I'm taking into account how clear or natural it sounds, the amount of white noise, and the amount of occlusion. Occlusion is when you speak yourself and you get like a blocked ear effect. So the overall clarity is pretty decent. Distant sounds come in clearly. Voices sound okay, could be a little bit better, but there is a pretty noticeable amount of occlusion, slightly more than the Air 4 Pro and Capsule 3 Pro. There is slightly less white noise in the Air 4 Pro though, but still if you're in a quiet environment, you'll notice a bit of that white noise hiss. Kind of sounds like an air conditioner's on in the distance. So overall, I'm giving them a score of 7.5. You don't get any customization of the strength in the app, but it's good enough. All right, onto the final round, sound quality. And let's start with my max volume test. I got just over 116 decibels with the 3 Pro Plus. So they're not the loudest earbud, but this is plenty of volume. You don't want to be venturing above 80%. You're easily going to be in hearing loss territory. But now onto the sound itself. Like I said at the start, this is easily SoundPEATS' best sounding earbud. So you're getting a combination of a dynamic driver and an XMEMS driver, which advertises great detail and separation, and that's exactly what you're getting. Now starting with the bass here, this is a pretty balanced response. You get a tasteful amount of sub bass and mid bass. It's definitely not lacking, but definitely not overpowering. So this is a pretty refined bass response. If you're a bit of a bass head, you might not like it. The mid-range here is ever so slightly recessed, but both male and female vocals stand out nicely and they never fall behind in the mix. The treble is a standout though. It's both crisp and precise. So things like acoustic guitars, hi-hat and ride work, orchestration, horns, all stand out really well with great detail. You also get a nice boosting in the upper treble, so you get that nice sparkle effect with things like crashes and hi-hats, but it's boosted to a point where it rarely gets sibilant or harsh. This is a slightly brighter tuning than most earbuds on this ranking though, so for longer listening sessions, this stock tuning might be a little bit fatiguing. But my go-to EQ is just a very subtle bass boost and mid boost. And this will also just naturally bring the treble down slightly. So I found this slight change in the EQ brought out vocals, distorted guitars, and things like percussion a bit better. Overall, it's a dynamic, rich, detailed tuning. And compared to the Capsule 3 Pro, it's a night and day difference. I was never a huge fan of the Capsule 3 Pro tuning. I found the stock tuning a little bit muddy and kind of hard to EQ and get them sounding decent. The Air 4 Pro did sound much better though. They only really lacked a little bit in the treble department and the upper treble department. So it's a bit closer here, but the 3 Pro Plus does get the easy win. The bud that comes closest is going to be the OnePlus Buds 3. This is after I've EQ'd them quite a bit and done the hearing test and all that kind of stuff. It's actually very similar tuning to the 3 Pro Plus. The treble is a bit more direct on the Buds 3, but the soundstage is a little bit more open on the Pro Plus. You still get great treble detail. It is just slightly more laid back compared to the Buds 3. So I'm scoring the Pro Plus a 9.5 out of 10. I'd say it's pretty much on par in quality to the Buds 3. Because the stock tuning is great, it is a bit on the bright side, but with that solid EQ customization, you can just bring that treble down a little bit, make them slightly more mid-focused, or you can bass boost these quite a bit in there as well. You get great freedom, and you can get them sounding great for your personal taste. But that wraps up all 10 categories. Before we go into the final score, the scoring doesn't matter much because we all have different preferences. That's why I created the custom scoring spreadsheet, free to download, link below. So on there you get notes for each score, a specifications tab, a core quality tab with all 3 tests, and the personalized scoring is easy. Just fill out a number in the importance column and that'll multiply the entire category. 0 to get rid of it, 5 to 5x it, 10 to 10x it, and that'll change the total score for all the earbuds. But now here are the final scores, and the Capsule 3 Pro Plus finished with a score of 81.5 out of 100. So that's a 5.5 point improvement over the Capsule 3 Pro and the Air 4 Pro. So that's a very solid improvement. The OnePlus Buds 3 are still the best value overall if sound is a priority. The Earfun Air Pro 4 also in that tied first spot. But the Capsule 3 Pro Plus definitely stand out when it comes to their solid sound quality. You also get strong noise cancelling. The battery life isn't the best, but that's the only real main issue. So it's great to see SoundPEATS coming back strong because my first video on this channel was a SoundPEATS earbuds, so I'm always happy to see SoundPEATS improving. Now, if you're interested in my rather controversial take on high-res codecs, check out this video right here. Thanks a lot for tuning in, stay picky, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.